What is the best time of year to sell your house? I'm going to show you right away how to figure that out, and it doesn't even matter where you live. Hi everybody, I'm 𝗀𝗀𝘀𝘀, RE/MAX Performance Realty, residential real estate specialist in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. I look after buyers and sellers of houses and condos, and one of the most common questions I get is, what's the best time to list my house? Second most common is, what's the best time to buy? Because we all understand there are ebbs and flows in the market. But it's my considered opinion that if you ask 12 agents in 12 different markets at 12 different times a year, what's the best time to sell? The answer is always going to be right now, sign here, because they're trained and they're focused on getting the listing at all costs. But instinctively, we know that can't be true. There are ups and downs in the market. There are better times to sell, better times to buy. So I'm going to take a look and I'm going to show you how to figure that out.
Okay, this is what a balanced market would look like. Just enough houses on the market to satisfy the buyers that are looking. No undue stress on anybody. There's enough buyers to look and enough houses to fill their needs. This, on the other hand, is what we call a buyer's market. There's a ton of houses to choose from. Just a few buyers, and they've got lots of options. That's a buyer's market. They have the choices to make, and sellers have to work a little harder to make their homes stand out from the crowd. And the reverse of that, of course, is the seller's market. When you have just a few homes on the market, tons of buyers looking, ideally, this is when you put your house on the market. But how do we figure out when that is? So as you can see, there are two parts, of course, involved in the sale of a house. And there is how many listings are there available and how many buyers are there at any given time. So let's take a look at one of those. Here are the numbers, the actual numbers of houses available on the Winnipeg real estate market in 2018. And I always take them on the 15th, the middle of the month. So as you can see, the highlighted yellow parts, those are the fewest homes on the market at any given time. That would be January and February. So 838 in January, 891. Those are the lowest numbers. Compare that to when you have August and September, for example. August, over 1,700. September, over 1,800 houses. Condos follow the same path. There are low times and high times, and it just happens that January, February are the fewest of each on the market. So on the surface, it would seem January or February would be a great time to list because you don't have a lot of competition. But now, what about buyers? So these are the numbers of the homes sold in any 30-day period ending on January 15th, February 15th. So as you can see, the month before January 15th, we've only sold 175 houses. That is by far the lowest of the entire year. So while if you list your house in January, you may not have a lot of houses competing against yours, you also don't have a lot of buyers looking. By contrast, the highest selling months are in the summer, May, June, July, and even into August. Much higher sale numbers, and so that's when the buyers are coming out. So how do we put all this together? For example, if January is a really, really low month for sales, but then it almost doubles for February, would that be a good time then to list? What if listings go up more than double? So then we have to kind of take all those numbers and come up with an equation, with a quote. So what we're looking for is an inventory level, and it's basically the answer to this question. How long would it take to sell all available listings at today's rate of sale and if no new listings were added? So take a snapshot of today's market. Let's say there are 1,000 houses on the market. How long would it take us to sell those 1,000 at today's rate of sale? And this is the formula that I use. So you take 1,000 listings, you divide it by the number of homes sold in the past, let's say 30 days. I usually use a month. So 30 days times 30 days. And the result you get is expressed in number of days. The lower that number, the hotter the market. Now, a really hot market will have about 40 or 50 days of inventory. A slow market will be measured in 300, 400, 500 days. So year and a half, 2 years. So let's take a look at how all those numbers combined for Winnipeg's market. So remember that January was the lowest inventory? Well, it's actually probably the worst time of the year because the buyers really disappear. Christmas time and just shortly after Christmas. So you have an inventory level of 148 days for houses, which is by far the highest throughout the year. Now, I'm not saying that you can't sell a house in January. I'm just saying that the odds are against it, or you may have to reduce your price more than you want to. So the best times with the lowest inventory levels are April, May, June, and July. You can see they're in the 50s and 60s, and actually the same with condos. Now, the numbers are higher with condos, but in their market area, that's the best time to sell a condo. So for listing, I would say list it in the end of February, beginning of March. You're catching the beginning wave of those buyers.
Are you thinking of selling your Winnipeg house or condo? Work with the listing agent who goes beyond the MLS. 𝗀𝗀𝘀𝘀 of RE/MAX Performance has a marketing plan that is second to none. Book your free marketing plan and evaluation today. Bo knows real estate.
So I hope you found this useful. Please keep in mind that this is an overall look at the general market in Winnipeg. And even a small place like Winnipeg has literally dozens, maybe hundreds of markets. So if you're in a $300,000 condo, that's a different market than a side-by-side in South st-Vital. If you're in a $500,000 Lindenwoods home, that's a different market than a $500,000 in South Point. So by all means, give me a call anytime. I'd love to help you take a look and figure out what the best time is to sell your house. And if you're in a different city, make sure you ask your agent to explain. If he says right now is a good time to sell, ask him to explain why he's saying that, he or she. Till next time, bye-bye.
This has been 𝗀𝗀𝘀𝘀, RE/MAX Performance Realty. I really hope you've enjoyed this information. Here's a couple of more videos for you to enjoy. Also another chance to hit the subscribe button and the little bell beside it. That way you get notified of any of the new videos I'm putting out. Until next time, bye-bye.